All right, 7th grade, we are working on lesson 4.4, writing and graphing inequalities. Okay, you should be working on your warm-up. All right, so this is number 2 in the warm-up. We're going to go through it together. 3/5, open parentheses, 10x minus 25 plus 7x. All right, so we're required to simplify this. So you're not going to actually solve it to one number. You're just simplifying this, which means we're combining like terms for the most part. So according to PEMDAS, we look inside the parentheses first. Can I simplify 10x minus 25? You cannot, because one of them has the variable, one does not. So this is as simple as that part gets. So then we look outside the parentheses. The 3/5 is right next to the parentheses, meaning multiplication. So we're going to do distributive property and multiply times everything inside the parentheses. So what is 3/5 times 10?
6.
So then we put the x next to that. And then we do 3/5 times negative 25. Which would be negative 15. Okay, and then I just bring down my plus 7 because we didn't do anything with that on the first step. Write this down. Good so far?
Yes.
Okay, are there any other terms that we can combine? Ricky?
6x,
The 6x and the 7x because they are like terms. So what is 6 plus 7?
13.
So I will have 13x. And then I just rewrite my minus 15 because it doesn't have any other terms that are like it. Because there's no variable with it. There's no letters with it. Good job. Any questions? Any questions? Does that make more sense? Good. All right. So you need to write all this vocabulary. You don't have to. If you know what these symbols mean, I'm not going to require you to write them in your journal. If this isn't automatic to your, like you know this, then write it down. It'll help you remember it. Like if you didn't know that this phrase means this symbol, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then you need to write it in your journal. This sign right here means is less than or equal to. It could also mean is at most. Could also mean is no more than. Does that make sense? So if this is new news, new news? That's funny to say.
I wrote it anyways.
Yes, if you know it anyways, that's fantastic. Write it. It's really good information for you to refresh your memory. Okay? I'll give you a moment. All right, example 1. Write this in your journals. This is a bunch of words we're going to translate into an equation. Yes, you should know this. Should be a refresher. A number, q, plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 7.9. We're writing this word sentence as an inequality. Can somebody real quick tell me what is an inequality, Izzy?
An inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares expressions.
Excellent. It's a mathematical sentence that compares, say that one more time. Expressions. So it compares expressions. You're going to see the greater than or less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to sign. It will not be equal. Inequality means it's not equal. You see that? Inequality? So it will never be an equal sign. It will be one of those alligator mouths. Okay? All right, so let's write this together. A number, q, plus 5. How would I write that on here? You would write the letter Q plus 5. Because it says a number Q. They tell you what they want the number to be. It's not an actual number. It's a variable. A number Q plus 5. When you hear the word is less than, what kind of symbol are you going to write? Joel. Shh. A less than symbol, which way is the alligator opening to?
Right.
To the right. It's less than or equal to. I missed that. I'm sorry. Less than or equal to. So, yes, you do have the line under it. So the alligator opens to the right. And then we just write negative 7.9. That's the easiest part. And there is your inequality. Q plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 7.9. Bless you. Any questions? Not too scary, right?
No.
All right, go ahead and do your try-its. Okay, this is try-it number 1. Write the word sentence as an inequality. A number x is at least. If you look at that chart you wrote in your journal, what is at least? Go for it.
The sign that opens the left with the line under it.
Yes, is at least. So it has to be this one. Because it is at least the negative 10 or more. Okay, so it has the equal sign under it because it's at least this much. Oh, I added a 0 in there. So it should be x is greater than or equal to negative 10. Because it can't be less than negative 10. When you hear that at least, you have to in your head think, I can't go anywhere less than that negative 10, but I could equal negative 10. Great question. Okay, this is try it number 2. When you hear twice a number y, twice a number means you're multiplying times 2. So whatever the number is, which they told you is y, so twice this number, you're just going to say 2 y's. It's like saying 2 times y. Is more than, so which symbol am I going to use? Pointing to the left, right? Because the 2y is more than the other thing. So 2y is more than negative 5 over 2. Whoops, that's not the right symbol. This one. Like that. Twice a number, 2 times the number. And that is more than the negative 5 halves. Good. All right, so you've been writing inequalities. A solution of an inequality is a value that makes the inequality true. So essentially, it's wherever you put what number you put in for that variable, x or y, you plug a number in there, and it makes the left side or right side true compared to the other side. When you have several sets, a set of all solutions of an inequality, that is called the solution set. So for example, look at this chart that they did. They wanted to know, here's my equation, x plus 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. They wanted to know what values of x would make this a true statement. So if I plug in a negative 2 here, where the x is, negative 2 plus 2 is what?
1.
Negative 2 plus 2 is what?
1.
Negative 2.
0.
Listen, don't just read. Listen, negative 2 plus 2 is
0.
0. Thank you. Don't read. Listen to what I say. So it's 0. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 1? It's greater than, because negative 1 is smaller than 0. So this set is no when I plug in negative 2. Okay? What if I plug in a negative 3? Negative 3 plus 2 would be what?
1.
Negative 1. Is negative 1 less than or equal to negative 1?
Yes.
It's equal. So then the answer to this set is yes.
Yes.
If I plug in a negative 4, what is negative 4 plus 2?
Negative 2. Negative 2.
Negative 2. You need to listen. Some of you are trying to rush to say the answer so loud. I'm not looking at you, Elliot.
Okay.
You were that on the first one, not on the third one.
Thank you.
Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Is negative 2 less than or equal to
Yes.
negative 1? It is less than, so then this would also be a yes. Okay, so this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be plugging in a number to decide whether it's true or false. So let's do example 2? Question mark? Yes, 2. So here we go. Write this in your journals. Example 2. Tell whether negative 2 is a solution of y minus 5 greater than or equal to negative 6. Okay, y minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 6. So what are we going to do with that negative 2? Where are we going to put it?
For y.
Where the y is. We're going to replace the y with negative 2. So then we solve this. What is negative 2 minus 5?
3. Negative 7.
Negative 7. Is negative 7 greater than or equal to negative 6? Negative, further negative is actually smaller. So even though the 7 you would think is larger because we're going negative, remember the further negative you go, the smaller the number is. So this is not true. So negative 2 is not a solution. If you were taking your test, you would write not a solution, no solution. Not a solution. If you were taking, like you were writing this on paper, you'd say not a solution. All right, so now let's look at B. Tell whether negative 2 is a solution of negative 5.5y is less than 14. So again, what are we going to do with this negative 2? Replace the y with it. So this means what? When I have a number next to a letter, what kind of math is this? Multiplication. Very good. So I need to put this in parentheses when I write it again with the number. Otherwise, it'll get confusing. So now when I have parentheses there, this still means multiplication, right?
Yes.
So what is negative 5.5 times negative 2? Negative times a negative is a?
Positive 11.
And it would be positive 11. Is 11 less than 14?
Yes.
True. So then negative 2 is a solution of this inequality. Comprende? Yes. So you're just plugging in the number they're asking you to test, simplifying the side you plugged it in on, and seeing if the sign still is true. If this less than sign still works. And then you say yes or no. Okay? Go do that for your next set of try-its. Let me see what you got. And self-assess. Go all the way to number 10. Example 3. All right, so we have a rock climber. If you can see the picture, he's sleeping. That's terrifying. This is legit how rock climbers sleep on the side of a mountain. He's strapped in. That they strap himself. Yeah. Nope. Thanks. Anyhow, let's solve this. Shh. A rock climber's sleeping bag is recommended for temperatures no less than negative 15 degrees Celsius. Write and graph an inequality that represents the recommended temperatures for the sleeping bag. So let's write our equation,
Inequality.
Thank you. Inequality first. I appreciate that. So we heard temperatures no less than negative 15 degrees Celsius, right? That's what you heard in the paragraph. Listening? Yes? Listening? Good.
Yes.
So do we know the temperatures?
Yes.
No. We know they are going to be less than negative 15, but we don't know what they actually are. So we're going to put a variable here for temperature. Okay? I'm guessing we're going to use T. Shocking. So for the inequality, we're going to put T where temperatures is no less than. So what sign am I going to use, Izzy?
You're going to use the alligator going on the left with the line under it.
Very good. With the line under it. So it's going to face to the left with the line under it. Because temperatures can't be less than the negative 15, but it could equal. And then you just write the negative 15 degrees. Okay? So do we have an inequality? I almost said equation again. Yes, we have an inequality. T is greater, bless you, greater than or equal to negative 15. All right, so now we're going to graph this. So you're going to draw a number line. When you hear graphing, you're just drawing a number line. Okay? Before you label your numbers, look at what you're dealing with here before I pick. I'm at negative 15, so kind of in the middle of my graph is where I want the negative 15. So, and you see we skip counted by 3. That's fine. I also don't mind if you put a 0 way over here on the right and then go like halfway and put a negative 15. Like, you don't have to have everything in between.
Okay.
Okay? Now, as we graph this, this little inequality is going to tell you whether you're going to fill in the circle or not fill in the circle. Do you guys remember doing this last year? So you're going to draw a circle if it's just the alligator. You're going to fill in the circle if it equals. So in this case, we have a greater than or equal to. Are we going to have an open circle or closed circle?
Open. Open.
Closed, because we're equal, so we're going to fill in the circle. So you're going to go to negative 15 and fill in the circle, because it's equal to. So it could equal negative 15. Now, the t is greater than this. So which way am I going to go?
Right.
To the right.
Right.
Oh, it's having you test it. Now, we know. We're smart. To the right. So you're going to shade to the right because t is greater than that negative 15. If you are unsure, just grab one of these numbers like they did on the number line, throw it in for t, and see if it works. If you're unsure, like if you're like, I'm not real sure if I'm supposed to go left or right just by looking at it, grab one of these numbers like they did, negative 21, they put a negative 21 here. Is negative 21 greater than negative 15? No. So then they grab 0. 0 is greater than negative 15, so we shaded toward the 0.
Okay.
That'll help you double check yourself. Any questions?
No.
All right. So do your last couple self-assessments. 11 and 12, and then I believe you're done for the, so 11 and 12 and you're done for the day. Okay?